Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our JubiRev team webinar. This is not a corporate webinar of JubiRev, Jubi Max. So I do not have a corporate hat on tonight. I've got a team building promoter hat like everyone else. But we do want to obviously provide tremendous support to our team. It is so great to be back with you, knowing that we should have no problems with you being able to hear us. We've got a headset. We are ready to get things started here in just a few moments. If you would open up your questions box, we want to do some introductions here. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you are from. Make sure that all of your teammates are on tonight's webinar. We've got a lot of information to share. I'm going to try to segment it to make sure that we get what we definitely need in terms of customer acquisition. So that will be the primary focus, but then if we have time for other things, we will, and then we'll get it to as many Q&As as we possibly. Please include the number of Jubi bucks or Jubi points that you also have. I will not associate your Jubi bucks or Jubi points with your name. Give me just a moment. Okay, all right, give me just a moment. I'm sorry I got distracted there. Let's take some introductions here for the next few moments here. Where are you? Give me a moment. There we are. There we are. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. I got a little distracted, a little discombobulated there. All right, welcome to tonight's webinar. We'll get started in just a few moments. Tyron from Trinidad, definitely one of the top builders in all of JubiRev. Jubi Max, welcome to the webinar. James from Virginia, welcome to the webinar. Hey, Dennis from Charlotte, welcome to the webinar. Mary from Kansas, welcome. Minnie from Brooklyn, welcome. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, please keep our teammate, you know, I don't know if I should pronounce her name Sandra or Sandra, and if she happens to be on the webinar, please forgive me for not knowing. I know you've been a part of our following for quite some time. Unfortunately, Sandra Davies lost her her husband just a few days ago. So please, some of you know Sandra being in some of the Skype rooms. Please keep her in your thoughts and keep her in your prayers. Also, a gentleman not really building so much JubiRev, Jubi Max, but he's been a part of our following for a bit. And some of you know him, Kim Magdalendon. He just buried his father, unfortunately, about 3-4 weeks ago. And then over the weekend, his brothers, sister-in-law, and niece and nephew were in a horrible accident. I don't know exactly where they stand. I know they were in a coma. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers, if you would, please. Alice from Florida, welcome to the webinar. Is it Lana or Lana? Forgive me, because I know I messed up one of those. From Ontario, welcome to the webinar. Let's give you some points here, and or bucks. 250, 10,120 Jubi points. Someone's got 5,472 bucks and 1,437 points. So tonight you're going to find out some ways that we can start to convert those bucks into points a little bit quicker. Someone's got 100 Jubi bucks. Someone's got 6,500 Jubi points. 22.75 Jubi points. 898. Congratulations. We're just as excited about the person who's got 1 point as the person that's got 100,000 points. Clarence from Fairfield, California, welcome to the webinar. Randy from Indiana. Herbert from Albany, Georgia. Anne Marie from Massachusetts. Susan from Minnesota. Troy from Indiana. Many of you have done such a phenomenal job. I know Troy is a stalwart in some of the Skype rooms. Thank you so much for all of you for your leadership in those Skype rooms and in Facebook. Zeke and Jerry, my dear friends and mentors from South Carolina. Terry from Montana. Isaiah all the way from Cambodia. Linda from Houston. Johnny from Washington. Elaine from France. George, where are you from? George, are you from Australia? Is that this? George, are you from Australia? Anyway, welcome to the webinar. Elaine and Andy from Louisiana. Let's give you some more points here. 898, 17,000. Wow. Sally, 1,350. 1,200 points, 2,800 bucks a point, 828 bucks a point, 1,500 bucks a point, 4,000 bucks a point, 1,297, 126, 1,486 bucks a point, 1,655 Jubi points, 260. Let's give you a few more introductions and then we will get started. Matt McCormick, hey buddy, from Michigan. Man, are you a Michigan fan? I thought you guys were going to pull it out last night. Welcome to the webinar. My condolences if you're a Michigan fan. Sally from Texas, welcome. Al from Colorado, welcome. That looks like my daddy, my pops. Hey, pops, welcome to the webinar. My mom and dad, we refer to them as pops and ma. My mom, we just saw her off yesterday. She spent 2.5 weeks with us as my wife and I were globetrotting. She was keeping the children. So, hey, pops, welcome to the webinar. Vicky from Vegas, she says, I'm excited. Welcome to the webinar. Tom from Florida, welcome. Alan from Ohio, welcome. Thank you, Clarence. Appreciate that. The Godfather. Oh, man, what a voice that guy has. Welcome, Rita. Welcome. 333 points, 115 points, 500 points, 1,500 points, 4,000 points, 75, 97, 100, 23, 898. 2,600, 1,450. Deborah from Scottsdale, welcome. Kevin from California, welcome. Rawson from the UK, welcome. Elena from California, welcome. Ken from Trinidad and Tobago. By the way, I got to tell you, Tyron is it Keen or Ken? Forgive me for messing that up if I did. While my wife and I were in Santiago, Chile, we were sitting out on the street. It was beautiful, beautiful day, gorgeous weather out there. And this couple walked by, and they looked at me and my wife, and they said, you guys speak English? And we said yes. And they came over and gave us a big old hug, and they happened to be from Trinidad and Tobago. If that's the culture, that people are so loving and warm and inviting, then I've got to come down there to Trinidad and Tobago. All right, ladies and gentlemen, continue to put in your name, your what part of the world you're from. We'll try to acknowledge as many of you as we possibly can as we go on, but we do have to go on and get the show on the road. We do have this audio recording. I'm going to do some video recording. It may take some time for the video recording to be up anywhere because of editing, but give me just a moment. Let's set our video recording and then we'll be ready to get started. Bear with us. Alrighty. All right, here we go. All right, so welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our Jubi Rev team webinar. Again, this is not a corporate webinar, and the reason I want to make sure I make a point of that is that there's certain things on corporate webinars that I may want to say that I can't say, or I can't say the way I want to say them. From a corporate perspective, there's always a hat when we're doing a corporate webinar that I have to wear, even though I'm a promoter just like you. But when we have a team webinar, then I can say certain things, or my style, for instance. When I'm on a corporate webinar, I've got to dial it back just a little bit from a corporate standpoint. When it's a team webinar, I get to be me, and hopefully you like it, and if you don't, we love you, but guys, I got to be me. And that's the beautiful part about this industry. As you start to generate revenues and you start to, it kind of, you stop some of that corporate stuff and you just wind up being who you are. And so I love these webinars because I can just be me, which means I can even sing. You like that, Queen? You like that? All right, we got a lot to cover tonight. I want to start off with a couple of polls. I'm going to ask each and every one of you to vote, please. This is going to help me in what we have to share on tonight. So here's going to be the first poll. The first poll is, you would be yes, I have been with a company that has a daily revenue sharing compensation model. That's probably going to be a good amount of you. Whether it was in dealing with whether the product was advertising, whether the product was travel, whether the product was penny auctions. I just need to get a sense of our audience. And let's get everybody voting. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Wow, this is surprising. There's more of you that have not been a part of a company with a revenue sharing model and what I would have thought. Wow. Let's give
Wow.
you 10 seconds. Wow. Well, so welcome to this model. This is an amazing model. In 9, 8, 7, everyone vote if you would. Where am I? I don't know. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, fantastic. Wow, I was not expecting. 89% of you said, yes, I've been a part of this model before. I wasn't expecting 11%. So that means we got a lot of newer folks to the model. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so we're going to close that one out. I've got two more real quickly. This is going to help us with what we're going to share on tonight. Bear with me. Now, here we go. So 89% of you said I've been with a company or companies that used this revenue sharing model. There was a company that was flying high a year or so ago, and they dealt with penny auctions. If you were with that particular company, you probably know who I'm saying. I don't want to mention any company's names right on tonight's webinar. But if you were with that company, just, yes, I was with that company. If you don't know, then chances are you'd be saying no, because you would know if you were with that company. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to give you another 10 seconds and 9. Please, everyone vote. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very interesting because the numbers are still close. So 87% of you said you were with that company. 85 said you were with that company. 15% said no. And the previous one, 89% said, yes, I've been in the model. So I'm going to assume, Queen, that the majority of people that said, yes, I've been in the model before, maybe were a part of that other company as well. By the way, the young lady that you hear, Queen Twitter, we call her that because she's got hundreds of thousands of people that are following her on Twitter, and so she's assisting us on this evening, as she does in so many cases. So 84 to 16, 84% said yes. Let's do one last one. Now this one is related to a company that, again, I won't mention any names. I used to be with this company, used to be the top earner with this company. And so when you see this, again, without me mentioning the company, this will help us out, okay? I have been, or I'm either now, many of you are still now, associated with a company that has a revenue model, and they specialize in travel, okay? They specialize in travel. And again, if you need another hint, I was the #1 earner and a business builder once upon a time with that company. Okay? And again, I'm only doing this so that when I start to talk about customer acquisition, I need to know who is familiar with using a customer acquisition service, because I've got to share with you some differences between how customer acquisition is going to work with Fly Guy marketing versus maybe what you are used to. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. That's enough for me to know exactly what we're dealing with. All right, fantastic, fantastic. All right, let's give you a couple quick updates, and then we'll go into Fly Guy marketing, okay? Let's give you a couple of quick updates. If you are not aware, our daily leadership bonus, which is in effect our revenue sharing compensation model. Now, my understanding is that the attorney would like us to start weaning ourselves away from that type of terminology, revenue sharing. And so we're going to start referring more to it as daily leadership bonus. So what I will try to do is start to phase that out, and then ultimately people will know when we talk about the DLB, daily leadership bonus, or daily leadership bonus, we're talking about revenue sharing. Okay, but the daily leadership bonus actually went live, and it went live one day early. So the first night was from Sunday night, and so then the post of the daily leadership bonus was on Monday. That post came in about 1 p.m. or so, and I don't expect it to be 1 p.m. every day. It's going to be earlier than that for the most part, but they were still testing. They were still going through the numbers, so on and so forth. We weren't anticipating that it was going to go live until Monday night. So we were expecting that last night it would go live, and then when you woke up this morning, depending on where you are in the world, and went into your back office, then you would see the daily leadership bonus. So we actually got a day early. Okay, so now, again, we want to make sure that we are using proper terminology. And let me give you an example. If I were to say at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern this evening, I'll be hosting the company's income opportunity webinar. Okay. If I said I was hosting the business opportunity webinar, as simple as that sounds, from a U.S. perspective, that would be problematic language, because a business opportunity as defined by whoever defines this stuff is idiotic to me, but, you know, whatever. They're bigger than us.
Yeah, they are.
They're bigger than us. If I said, hey, we have a business opportunity webinar, or come to this business opportunity meeting where we're going to talk about Jubi Rev and Jubi Max, the fact that I said business opportunity would be problematic. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to get shut down tomorrow or anything like that, but if we built that culture and people were saying business opportunity, that actually has a different legal weighting than MLM or income opportunity or what have you. So you won't hear us say business opportunity, you'll hear us say income opportunity. I know it sounds idiotic, and if my mom might be on the webinar, so she's going to cringe when I say this. I know it sounds stupid. See, Queen, I couldn't say that on our corporate webinar, could I?
No, you couldn't.
Yeah. I know it sounds, but hey, you know, it is what it is. They're bigger than us. All right, so let me share with you, if you are going to share this with folks, how it needs to be shared. So Sunday night, we were paid 0.0134 rewards per point.
Yes.
Every point got a reward. Is it problematic to say we earned 1.34%?
Yes, it is.
Heavens, yes, that's problematic. We don't say that. We never speak in percentage terms. I don't even want to say we did 1.34 on Sunday night. I saw that in one of the Skype rooms, okay? And if you did that, I'm not calling you out, because I also put in Skype room, hey, let's get used to doing this. We earned 0.0134 rewards per point. We want to stay away from any language that could be used in the banking or the investment worlds. So we're not making a deposit. We're loading funds into our back office. We are not dropping in or depositing or investing. We are making a purchase. No matter what any negative blogger may be saying, Mr. Negative Blogger, if you happen to be on our webinar, we love you, and we'd love for you to be a man and be courageous and on your post. I can't say that. It's my webinar. I can't say that.
I know you can, but we're not going there.
Oh.
Just,
I can't call him some names I want to call him?
No, it's not necessary.
That's right. My mama might be on the webinar.
Well, no, it's not necessary.
Oh, okay.
It's just not necessary.
Yeah, we're still growing. Someone just said, hey, Louise, if you're out there, and maybe you've already done this, Louise posted something in Skype today about we being the 5th fastest growing something or another. I'd like to see where she got that from. Last night, 0.0136.
Yes.
0.0136.
Rewards
and ladies and gentlemen,
rewards
I'm going to there you go, rewards per point. Now let's make sure you got this, and then we're going to get into Fly Guide. All right, so if you had 100 Jubi points last night, you earned something in the neighborhood of 1.36 Jubi bucks as your reward.
Yes.
Okay. If you had 1,000 Jubi points, you earned somewhere in the neighborhood of 13.6 Jubi bucks.
Yes.
If you had 10,000 Jubi points, you earned in the neighborhood of 136 Jubi bucks. Everyone got the same reward per point We're just never going to refer to that as anything other than that, okay?
Yes.
Rewards per point. All right, so very, very pleased with that reward per point. Very, 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 very pleased. Don't know what it's going to be tonight or the next night or what have you. I can tell you that I'm hearing that that revenues are really starting to roll in. Actually, they've been good, but they're really starting to roll in. Because why? Because we've had a lot of doubting Thomases, and I understand that. And if I can touch it, if I can see it, if I can feel it, then I'll feel better. And so now we've got a lot of folks who are starting to say, "Oh my gosh, this thing really is real." All right, now the other thing I want to share with you is something that I can tell you in talking with our president and owner, J. Joshua Beisel. He sounds like, in private conversations, a teenager, whether it's a dude or dudette, that is in puppy love for the first time.
Yes.
And the reason being is because we are already starting to see a tremendous conversion of customers getting Jubi Bucks and using them. And that is something, Queen, we did not see with that company that was the biggest in our sector that dealt with penny auctions. We didn't see a very large conversion of people that you gave bids to come to the penny auction and them actually using those bids. Other companies that maybe you've been a part of, we haven't seen a great conversion. I can tell you already there are hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of customers that you registered as a customer. They got your Jubi Bucks. They then went and used the Jubi Bucks
and pulled out their credit card.
And pulled out their credit card to cover the shipping and the handling. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what is going to separate JubiRev, JubiMax from any of the other companies that have been in the revenue sharing space. And we're never going to talk junk about any other company out there. We need, please get this, we need to have a few companies that successful revenue sharing companies. So I don't look at any other company out there as we're in competition with them. Sure, we want to be the best. Yeah, but we really want to see any of those companies, even one that some of you are aware of that I used to be the top producer in, so on and so forth. Even that one, though, me and their management don't quite see eye to eye, I want them to be successful. Why? Because the more companies that we have embracing this type of compensation model that are successful, Queen, we're in a very exciting, pioneering terms. A few years ago, in the 1990s, there was a compensation model that came out known as the binary model, but it had to be proven. It had to be proven. And it went through an evolutionary process, and then ultimately, now we know many of the many top companies in our industry use some form or fashion of a binary model after it was proven. Well, this is what I believe is going to happen with the model that we're using, where Joe and Susie average don't have to be great recruiters or sponsors or sellers, and yet they can earn on a daily basis. Now, so we know that customers are already whipping out their credit card, which, by the way, Queen, I got to say, this is very impressive, because I've seen companies in this industry that have been around for months and months and months, and people still can't use credit cards. And here we are just coming out the gate, just 2 days into the daily leadership, even before the daily leadership bonus went live, customers were pulling out their credit card, using their credit card to cover the shipping. And then obviously the whole goal is for them to get the product, like the product, love the product, and eventually come back and consume more and more and more. So very, very, very exciting. Okay, so now you've got Jubi Bucks. You've got Jubi Bucks. You've got Jubi Bucks. You've got Jubi Bucks.
Yes.
Do you earn daily? Open up your questions box and answer me if you would. Do you earn daily on your Jubi Bucks? You've got Jubi Bucks. You've got Jubi Bucks. Do you earn daily on your Jubi Bucks? That answer is correct. The answer to that is no. What are we earning on? We're earning on Jubi points. So a lot of us have Jubi bucks because we made a purchase of Jubi bucks, or we made a purchase of Jubi bucks, but now we need to convert Jubi bucks into Jubi points. How are we going to do that? We're going to do that primarily by giving away either Jubi bucks or the actual samples of the products. And hopefully you know by now, and JubiMax.com is live. So those of you that were waiting to be able to see the products and you wanted to see the ingredients and all of those good things, you'll see with the products that we currently have, you'll be able to go in and look at those products. You'll be able to look at the ingredients. You'll be able to see all of that information that you wanted to see. Okay, so whenever you give away a Jubi buck, you're going to earn a Jubi point. When you give away one Jubi buck, you earn one Jubi point. I'll come back and talk about the promotion that we have right now. So you earn a little bit more than just one Jubi point right now. But for the purposes of this example, if you gave away 100 Jubi bucks, you would earn 100 Jubi points. And it's your Jubi points then that earn a reward per point on a daily basis as the company has revenues to share. Okay? All right, so every day the company has revenues to share. We can't promise that every day the company's going to have revenue to share, you know, but every day I've been alive, the sun is, what is it, rising in the east and setting in the west, or is it the other way around?
Yeah, it rises in the east and sets in the west.
I need somebody to help me on this side of the webinar. But Queen, I don't control that, so I can't say that's going to happen tomorrow.
No.
Every company that I have been with has had this type compensation model, had revenues because there were either customers that were making purchases, or there were promoters who were also customers making purchases, generating revenue, so on and so forth. All right, so that would be 100 Jubi points. All right. Now, if you give away a Jubi sample, meaning instead of just giving away the bucks, if you actually had someone that registered to get the skincare or the weight loss or what have you, you would actually earn 1.05 points for every $1 worth of Jubi samples you gave away. Give me just a moment so we can make sure that we understand that part. And this is going to lead us to Fly Guy. All right. So I'm in a test account here. All right. So I'm in a test account here. What do we see with the test account? We see that there's some eCash. We see there are some Max Bucks. Max Bucks is what you get with your monthly subscription. If you got a $15 subscription, you get 15 Max Bucks. $50 subscription, 50 Max Bucks. $100 subscription, 100 Max Bucks. $200 subscription, 200 Max Bucks. Max Bucks are not the same as Jubi bucks. Max bucks you cannot give away. You cannot give away. You can't give away Max bucks to generate Jubi points. The purpose of Max bucks is for you and I as the promoters to use for our personal use. One of the things that was problematic with that company that was in the penny auction space, they did phenomenally well, didn't dot all the I's, didn't cross all the T's. One of the things that was problematic is that their product was so underutilized, even to the point that folks like me that were there for 17 months, I can probably count on one hand how many times I actually went in to even try to use the product as a penny auction. Well, JubiRev, JubiMax said, no, we need to get back to what this industry is about. We want to leverage that compensation model, but we want to make sure that we're about what this industry should be about, which is product movement to consumers. So with my monthly subscription, $15, $50, $100, or $200, I'm getting a corresponding amount of Max bucks. I then go and use those Max bucks to purchase whatever products that I want. And so if I make a like in my case, I had 200 max bucks. I made a $260 purchase, Queen.
Yes.
200 of my max bucks were applied to the 260. Then the system went and said, oh, you got some additional Jubi bucks. Then it took the 60 Jubi bucks, debited my back office to 60 Jubi bucks, and then I covered the shipping and handling from my e-cash. I just want to make sure, because I've had some questions, what's the difference between max bucks and Jubi bucks? Now, Jubi bucks, these are the virtual inventory that we talk about. You can use your own Jubi bucks to purchase additional product. In my case, Queen, I purchased $260 so worth of product. So I used the maximum amount of max bucks that my system had. I had 200. Again, I'm not in my system. I'm in a training account. The system then took the other 60 Jubi bucks from my Jubi buck inventory, and when you use your own Jubi bucks, you will get a 50% Jubi point match. So, Queen, these are real numbers. I made a $260 purchase. Now, it might have been $261, $263, but that's close enough.
Yes, sir.
All right. It subtracted out my 200 max bucks. So then it saw that I had more than 60 Jubi bucks in my inventory. Then debited the other 60 Jubi bucks, and I then had something around 30 Jubi points as a result. Why? Because it used 60 Jubi bucks. I got a 50% match, or 30 Jubi points. Now, if I gave those 60 Jubi bucks to a customer, how many Jubi points? I'm not talking about the promotion now. How many Jubi points would I receive? 60. That would be a 100% match. I give customer A 60 Jubi bucks. I get 60 Jubi points. I'm not talking about the promotion. Of course, we've got a promotion where you earn a little bit more than that. Okay. Now, so what we want to do then is we want customers that we can give these Jubi bucks to so that we can generate more Jubi points. We want customers that we can give these Jubi bucks to so that we can generate more Jubi points. While we're here, let me just share something with you, okay? This box right here is a quick glance for you to get an idea of what happened for the daily leadership bonus. So this is going to show your day's reward. So the day's reward based on the revenue that came in on Monday, what was paid out today, and again, this is the test system, but it works just like it would if it was real, was 8.14 Jubi bucks. That was the reward. So if I simply took, how do you determine your reward per point? If I simply took that 8.14 and I divided that by the number, this point total here represents the number of points that you had in the system when they ran the daily leadership bonus for that particular night, okay? This number right here, it may not be your up-to-date total. This shows what you had in the system when they ran the daily leadership bonus. So if I take the 814 divided by the 598.75, I come up with 0.013594. We simply rounded and said 0.0136 rewards per point. Rewards per point. Okay, so that's enough about that right now. So what we want to do is we see we've got a lot of inventory in Jubi bucks in this training position. We want to start to move Jubi bucks from Jubi bucks column into the Jubi point column. How do we do that? With registered customers. All right, now I may get timed out here, so let me see before I do this. So what I want you to do is under promoter links, I did get timed out, bear with me. Give me a moment. Bear with me. Almost there. Bear with me. All right, here we go. Okay. Under your promoter links, and you will find promoter links two places. The easiest one is right here on your homepage. Promoter links there. Also under marketing, you'll find promoter links there. Takes you to the same place. Takes you to the same place. Okay. So right here, if you click on your promoter links, heretofore we've only been talking about your promoter pages, people joining you in the business. But now you also have these customer pages. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you want to give away Jubi Bucks, okay? And you'll probably hear us refer to this going forward as Jubi certificates as well. So if you hear say Jubi certificates or Jubi Bucks, we're talking the same info. Give me a moment here. That's not hitting me for that to show. Come on. Bear with me. Something was acting funny with my system. Come on. Oh man. Give me a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I need to go to another browser. Almost there, almost there. Okay, here we go. All right. So if you went into your back office under promoter links, you're going to see your giveaway pages that you can start to advertise and that you can use. All right, so here's an example of your giveaway page. If your customer came to your page, and I'm going to show you how to go and modify the amount of Jubi Bucks you want to give to a Jubi gift certificate. When your customer registers here, first name, last name, email address, they choose a username, a password, they confirm the password, they then do the captcha code, they simply click claim the Jubi Bucks, and ladies and gentlemen, it's just that simple. You just registered a customer. First name, last name, email address, username, password, confirmed password, and this information here. So you just registered a customer. So if you sent your link out to your database, your email list, your Facebook family, your Twitter following, and they click on that link and they fill out that information, depending on how many Jubi Bucks you have told the system to give that customer, that's how many bucks that customer would then have. In this example, it's showing 5, so you would have just generated 5 Jubi points. You can take this all the way up, assuming you've got enough bucks to do so, as high as 400. As high as 400. So anywhere between 5 and 400. Let's say you gave away 100 in this example, then you would have scored 100 Jubi points. We have had a ton of our promoters already going to their warm market, their loved ones, their friends, so on and so forth, posting on Facebook, tweeting out, so on and so forth, and there have been a lot of customers that have claimed those Jubi Bucks, and more importantly, a lot of customers that have actually used them to offset the cost of whatever the products happen to be. Okay, so now, give me a moment. This is where I wanted to be. Okay, so where did you go? You went to promoter links. And you can take any of these, ladies and gentlemen. If you wanted to give away the skincare, you take the skincare link. Okay? All right, same thing. You determine how much you're giving away there, okay? All right, so now, what we've talked about, what many of you have been used to in this space is you've been used to being able to purchase customers, because You gave some out to your warm market. You gave some out to Facebook. And now maybe you've run out of folks to give your Jubi bucks to, or as you begin to build your Jubi point totals and you're earning on a daily basis, you've got more and more and more Jubi bucks to give away, and you want to have plenty of customers so customers aren't an issue. All right, now what many of us have been used to doing is we have been used to purchasing customer registrations. And so we would go to a site and it would say something like, hey, if you want to get 10 customers, you know, maybe it was an average of $4 or $5 a customer. So for, let's say, a $50 outlay, you're going to have 10 customers delivered to your back office, and normally within a few days or so, you had your customers. And it didn't necessarily happen all at once, didn't necessarily have it all the next day or two, but over time you would have your 10 customers. And then you would come back and you'd buy more customers. And then some folks that had more and more and more Jubi bucks might purchase as much as 100 customers or even more. All right, so they might purchase 100 customers. Normally there would be a little discount the more customers you purchase at one time. So let's say you purchased 100 customers for $350 as an example. Okay, now here's what we have now come to know. Because one of the things that we saw, or we didn't see, I should say, with these customer registrations is we saw a very, very poor, and I do mean very poor conversion from that customer that registered to a customer that actually used the product. And I'm going to tell you that with the behemoth company that dealt with penny auctions, there were probably millions of purchase customer registrations by the field force, but such a minute percentage, and I don't know exactly what the percentage was. I just know what the regulatory body said in terms of the amount of that product that was ever used, which was like 0.5%. That's problematic. That's problematic. What we have come to find out is that most of the customers that we have purchased, for those of us that have been in this model for a while and we've purchased customers, most of those customers appear to have been what we call co-reg customers. Now, they're fairly cheap to purchase, and yes, it got you customers registered that you could give away your product so you could generate points. But what it did not do is convert to real customers making real purchases, and that became ultimately problematic for the companies that allowed co-registered customers to be a part of the customer acquisition process. That became problematic, okay? As a matter of fact, I want to show you this real quickly. All right, so there's a site. I just went and Googled co-reg customers, and basically what a co-reg customer is somebody at some point, the prospect indicated interest. So let's say that a prospect was on the site and it says, hey, do you like penny auctions? Do you want free penny bids for a penny auction? And that customer said, well, yeah, I'd like some free bids for a penny auction. And so that customer would register name, email address, maybe a username and a password, but they never saw your company's penny auction. Hey, are you interested in some travel deals? Hey, are you interested in weight loss or skincare? Well, yeah, I'm interested in weight loss and skincare. Would you like a free sample of weight loss and skincare? Well, yeah, I'd like a free sample of weight loss and skincare. But they didn't necessarily see your company that promotes your specific brand of weight loss and skincare. This was just a customer at some point in the past, and it could have been months ago, said, yeah, I'd like some free bids. I'd like some free weight loss products or to sample some weight loss products or skincare products. And the effect of that was the customer never, ever saw. Now, I can't say that none of the customers saw, because not all the customers were co-reg leads, but we now believe that most of the leads that we have purchased, whether it was for penny auction or any other service, were co-reg leads. okay? In that case, they never saw your site. So you had a customer delivered to your back office because they entered a name, an email address, and a username and password, but they didn't have a clue. They didn't know if they were getting bids from that Z company, if you know who I'm talking about, or QBids, or any other company out there. So the conversion rates were very, very poor. JubiRev, JubiMax said, if a company wants to be a third party, by the way, the company cannot endorse any specific third party. So in the back office and on corporate webinars, we can't say, hey, Fly Guy Marketing, okay? If a company wants to aid promoters in things like customer acquisition, distributor acquisition, leads for building the business, even ad placement and ad posting, that's fine, but there is some criteria, and it has to go through some type of programming so that the company can see if this vendor is providing real customers or if they're just providing a bunch of these co-reg leads that nobody ever even sees the site. There's a lot of technical called reverse APIs. I don't know what all that stuff means. But the point of saying that is Fly Guy is the first company. It won't be the only, I'm sure, but it's the first company to have met with the company to let them know the processes they will be using to get customer registrations. The company can endorse them, all right, but they can set forth a criteria of companies that would be considered as approved, though they will never say in the back office, hey, this company's approved or that company's approved, so on and so forth. Now, what is Fly Guy going to offer? So we can go to flyguymarketing.com. flyguymarketing.com. Now, let me tell you what Fly Guy has done. And by the way, some of you are aware of a team of folks that I am very, I love these guys. They're just tremendous people. And what they did is they referred us to some of their very dear friends in the industry. And the bottom line, we've got a team behind Fly Guy Marketing is a team of professional affiliate marketers. Their whole business is about driving quality traffic. And what they have specialized in over the last few years has been affiliate marketing, products such as weight loss, skincare, energy products, vitality products, and a few others, but this is really where they have been in their lane. What they typically do is they have a marketing budget. They know a lot more about driving traffic than I ever will. They've forgotten more than I'll ever even hope to know. They know how to drive quality traffic, but this is going to be the key. Where is that traffic going to be driven to? It is going to be driven to your giveaway page, not some other page that says, hey, if you want some skincare, raise your hand, and then the person has no idea that they're going to be getting youth, Jubi Max's youth. Or if you want a weight loss products, they don't. They're going to be driven to your page where they're going to see they're getting your Jubi Max weight loss and not some other company or what have you, okay? So what they will be doing is they have their professional affiliate traffic driving hats on to drive traffic to your specific Jubi Max site. So when you see a customer coming from Fly Guy Marketing, that is a customer that is going to your site. They have entered their first name, their last name, their email address. They've chosen their username and a password. I also know that there is a series of letters, of emails that will eventually start to go out to your customers. Right now, when your customer registers, they don't get an email just yet. This is all just a priority, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the company's priority was to get the daily leadership bonus up and running. And there's a whole laundry list of other things that they are working on. Jubi vacations will be coming soon. Jubi rebates will be coming soon, so on and so forth. Plus, there's been a couple of little bugs here or there, but I've got to tell you, in 19 years, and having been with more than one or two companies getting started out of the gate, I've never seen a more well-run, I've never seen any launching with as few technological bugs as I've seen with JubiRev and JubiMax. Okay, so now let's go to Fly Guy Marketing and let's see how that is starting off. Okay, let's go to Fly Guy Marketing. All right, flyguymarketing.com. You can register if you haven't already done so. Many of you have already done this. You can register for free. All right, there is no referral payouts or anything like that. So everybody can just go to flyguymarketing.com, register for free, first name, last name, email address, username, so on and so forth. Okay, all right. Then you'll get a welcome email. You just go on and log in. Now I'm logged into my my account here. And what you want to pay attention to this is on the front page, there are basically 3 services that they're going to offer. I'm going to talk primarily about really one more specifically, and then I'll touch a little bit on the other. What most of us are going to be concerned about is the customer registration services, okay? Customer registration services, and I don't know if I've been timed out. Let me see. Yep, give me a moment. I'll log back in. Bear with me. All right, so now we're logged back in. All right, so customer registration services. This is where we want customers that are going to go to our site, opt in, our system gives them bucks, we get the points, but then we retain the customer, a real customer, for ongoing purposes. So you're going to click where it says Learn More, and I want to give you these options that you have right now. Right now it's going to say Buy Customers. You can feel free to read all this good information here. Buy Customers. Okay, now here are your options, and I want to explain them so that you understand which option is best for you right now. Be mindful, what we are typically used to is going to a site to purchase customers. Normally there is a minimum quantity of 10 customers that you purchase, and that purchase is normally in the $40 to $50 range, somewhere between $4 to $5 per customer. That's kind of what we've been used to. Then you purchase 25 customers. You might get, for $100, you might get 25 customers that would be delivered to you, but in many cases these customers never saw your site. So they did register, they did help you convert bucks to points as an example, or bids to points, whatever your company referred to them as, but they did not then in many cases convert to ongoing customers. That's where we want to change the paradigm, okay? So now, let's say that you opt with the $49 option. Now, these are monthly subscriptions. Be mindful that you have like up until 48 hours before your next subscription if you decide you want to cancel out, okay? So don't feel like you are locked in. Don't feel like you're locked in. I believe, based on my conversations with some of the folks behind Fly Guy, that you'll want to maintain the subscription because it's going to give you quality customers. That's my belief. But you try it on for size for the first 30 days, and you be your own best judge. Okay. Now, the way it's going to operate initially, it's going to operate as a co-op, okay? A co-op. So in other words, if you chose the $49 subscription, someone else chooses the $99, someone else chooses the $149, someone else chooses the $249, those funds are going to the advertising budget of the professional affiliate marketers to drive traffic and drive traffic. Right now, while there are some tests going on, they need to see more numbers before they can really determine their cost of customer acquisition. Meaning, how much do they need to spend in driving traffic costs in order to secure a lead that actually opts in and becomes a customer for you. That number is still up in the air right now. Now, the co-regs folks, what they're mainly doing is they're buying leads really, really cheap, but then it's not quality traffic, okay? So I can tell you that site that I just went to, you could go buy 100,000 leads for little of nothing. But if they don't convert to anything, it doesn't matter, okay? Plus, that wouldn't work with our system anyway. All right, so they're telling me it's probably going to be about 30 days or so before they will have independent customer packages. Once they have enough numbers, they'll be able to determine their cost of acquisition. And so if a person doesn't necessarily want to be on a monthly subscription, they just want to come when they need extra customers. I need 10 customers. Then they'll be able to, in about 30 days or so, have individual customer acquisition packages. Maybe it's 10 to start, maybe it's 25 customers, so on and so forth. Now, what they are doing is they've got 3 services. They've got customer acquisition, what we're talking about tonight. They've got distributor acquisition, that would be people interested in the business. And then they also have ad placing, ad posting services. Now, there's going to be a good number of you that will use some ad posting services. Some of you are going to use some things tied to Facebook. I know there's some applications that some leaders are putting together for that type of ad posting. The one thing that we know with the ad posting that Fly Guy will be doing, again, they're very dear friends with a service that I have promoted in the past. We know that the ad posting service that we have promoted prior to JubiRev, Jubi Max yielded real customers coming to your site because of the way they posted the ads. In other words, last night I showed, or was it last night? Yeah, last night I showed you going to your back office and choosing one of those advertising venues in the back office. I think I showed classifiedsgiant.com. There'll be a lot of people who will use those services. But what tends to happen is you have a clutter effect. You get a lot of folks using the same free ad posting services. You see all of these ads, and it's very difficult to differentiate your ad from someone else's ad, so your ad didn't really stand out. What we saw with the Friends of Fly Guy is the way they posted their ads. It was actually distinct on a page. You weren't there with 20 other JubiRev, JubiMax folks with your ad, and so you actually got your ad seen, and you had people that clicked on the ad and actually opted in. We saw that. They did that very well. So Fly Guy will have an ad placement and ad posting service. What's ad placement? Ad placement is when they place your ad in strategic locations in the line of oncoming traffic, so that people get a chance to see your ad. What's ad posting? It's one thing for your ad to be placed. It's another thing for it to automatically be posted in your back office. Okay. Now, even if you use the ad posting service, I'm a huge proponent of you going in your back office every day, checking to make sure your ad was posted, because you're still relying on technology. You're relying on the fact that the Fly Guy system is going to communicate with the JubiRev, JubiMax system, and vice versa for the ad posting. The advantage of the ad posting that we'll be able to use with Fly Guy is they'll post your ad. So, like, for instance, when I was on vacation, I say vacation, but I was really working. But when I was away for 2.5 weeks, there were some times when it was it wasn't convenient, or my internet access wasn't the best, or I was out on a tour all day, or what have you. I would have liked, if we had been live, to have had an ad posting service that I knew my ad was going to be posted, and then all I had to do was really just go in and make sure that it got posted before the cutoff for the day. And assuming it did, all right, we're fine. Now we go back to our tour and what have you. So you're going to have the advantage of being able to have customer acquisition services, distributor acquisition services, and ad posting. So let's talk about these options here. What they're going to do is they're going to put your link, should you choose any of these 4 options, what they're going to do is they're going to put your link in a rotator. They're going to drive quality traffic, drive quality traffic, and for each time someone clicks on a link to go to the site, if you're in the rotator, all right, if there's 100 people in the rotator, if you have the $49 a month subscription, then your link is going to be in the rotator one time, all right? Now, they may drive hundreds of folks to the site on a daily basis, maybe in time even thousands. So I don't know how many times your site's going to be seen, all right? I don't know how many customers you're going to receive for the $49 a month. We'll have a much better idea, they will, in about 30 days. They'll pretty much know what their customer acquisition service amounts are, and then they'll be able to offer those packages where if you just want 10 customers or what have you. We may find that you get a lot more customers with this co-op. This is a way for them to launch out of the gate, do all the necessary large-scale testing to see what works best, and so on and so forth. So as I spoke with them today, it is likely that about 30 days from now, these options will still be here, but then you'll also have options to purchase other, just purchase 10 customers here or 25 customers there, so on and so forth. All right, now this is what they're going to do. If you choose the single share, $49 a month, with that single share for $49 a month, you will also get, you'll get your link in the co-op, all right? You get one link in the co-op, and you're going to receive 1 month ad placement services, all right? In other words, you're going to be able to have the ad placement services and ad posting services, okay? And you will not be billed for that. I think the normal billing for that is $14.95, $15 a month. What if you get to day 25 and you say, you know what, I don't want to be billed $49 a month. I got some customers, but I'd rather just buy individual customers once they've figured that out. I don't want the $49 a month. Well, you give them 48 hours. You give them 48 hours if you want to cancel the subscription, but you still would have that 1 month in place there, okay? So that's $49. If you've got the resources, a double share is better than one share. It's $99 if you've got the resources. Your link would be placed in the rotator twice. So now you have the opportunity, obviously, to have more customers, and you would get 3 months worth of ad placement, ad posting services through FlyGuy. What if day 25 comes? I did the $99, day 25 comes, and I say, you know what, I don't want a monthly $99 right now, or I don't feel like I've gotten as many customers as I should, as I could for $99. And again, your litmus test should be this. I'm used to $4 to $5 per customer. Some companies, it was a little bit cheaper, but in many cases, those were very cheap leads. So if you figure, if I'm at $100 a month and I get any more than 20 real customers, I'm a happy camper with that. You'll just have to determine if that makes sense for you financially, okay? But what makes sense here is that if you do the double share, $99, all right, that's what you'd be billed tonight, plus you get 5% processing on top of that, so I'll tell you what that is. You would get 3 months of ad posting services. Well, see, what's 3 months of ad posting services? It would normally be $45 anyway, $15 a month. If you do the triple share, $149, you would get 6 months of ad placement, ad posting services, plus your link would be in the rotator 3 times. You get a chance to get more and more customers. And if you do the quintuple share, $250, $249 a month, all right, you'd receive 5 co-op shares, meaning your link is in there 5 times, and you get a whole year worth of ad posting services. That's $15 a month times 12 months. I think that one's out to be $180. This is the option I chose for me personally. If you've got the resources, great. If you don't, do whatever makes sense to you should you decide to do anything at all. In about 30 days, what we expect from FlyGuy is to still have these options, but now there should be enough data, enough analytical data for them to reasonably know what the cost of acquisition happens to be, and then to be able to price packages at 10 customers equals this amount, or 20 customers, 25 customers equals this amount, I would imagine that you'd get a better deal if you stayed on the auto ship, but that'll be totally up to you. So let's make sure we understand this. All right, let's make sure we understand this. You get to choose which package works for you. Now, typically, most customer acquisition services that we've ever used to get customers for this type model would normally require a minimum of like 10 customers. I don't think I've ever seen anything less than 10 customers. And I'm not this, and some of you maybe use some other systems that you have, but I don't. I know I haven't used any. And typically, you'd be looking in about the $40 to maybe the $50 range for 10 customers. So $4 to $5 a lead. The problem was those customers never saw your site in most cases, so they really weren't high-quality customers. All right, $49 a month is going to get you 1 share in the co-op. What they're going to do is they're going to take the revenue from that monthly subscription. That's going to be a part of the advertising budget that they will use to drive quality traffic. Let's say if there were 100 of us that had a share, all right, then every 100 hits to the link is going to pop up your site, okay? Using that as an example, you would get 1 month of ad placement and posting services. So they are going to actually place your ad and then post that ad in the back well, they don't go into your JubiRev back office. They never get your username or password. There is something called a API, so on and so forth, a techie term, where it's going to be posted in your JubiRev back office. So you know you're going to have your ad placed and posted. I still want you to log into your JubiRev JubiMax back office, so just to confirm that it was posted. So there's no issue of a technological issue that comes up and then you're thinking it's posted and it's not posted, and then you don't get your daily revenue. Okay? All right. If you do the $99 a month, you're going to get 2 shares. So your link is going to be in there twice. You're going to get 3 months of ad placement, ad posting. If you do the $149, you get 3 shares and 6 months. And the $249, you get 5 shares and a full year. Now, you do this based on what your resources are. When I looked at that, I said, well, this makes sense to me. $249 a month, yes. If I get the customers that I need, because you know I've got a nice size Jubi buck amount anyway to still give away to generate more Jubi points with my daily rewards that that we're starting to receive, plus any commissions. Well, that's just a business expense. That's not a big deal. But if I'm not happy with that, come day 25, day 27, day 28, I've got 48 hours to communicate to Fly Guy, hey guys, don't bill me, you know, don't bill me right now, or don't bill me this month, or what have you. Guess what? I still get to keep the full year. Now, next month, let's say I'm happy with the service, which I expect to be, and I do the $249 the next month, then that gets me 5 shares. I don't get another full month or another full year of ad posting. This ad posting service, the reason they did that is because right now they don't have the actual number for costs for acquisition. So they're saying, okay, well, this person who does 99 bucks a month, they're putting some faith in us. Let's give them 3 months worth of ad posting service, even if they cancel, so that the second month they're not billed. We're still going to give them the 3 months of ad posting services. Okay, so all you got to do is go to flyguymarketing.com, register if you haven't already done so. Many of you have already registered, so you just log in. You're going to come to, I think you come to the page, let's see. I think you come to the page where you can go on and make your order. If not, just come up here under customers, where you're buying customers here. And this brings you You can use Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express for your purchase there. And then once you make your subscription, you're going to have a page where you have to fill out some information, and it's going to ask you for your username. You want to make sure that you're using your JubiRev username. It does detail that. Give me just a moment here. Give me just a moment. This is what's going to happen, all right? You click on one of those options. Obviously, you're going to put your card information here, okay? And you get to choose. Do you want people going and getting a Jubi gift certificate? Do you want them to get the skincare certificate? Do you want the weight loss certificate? I'd probably just leave this be for right now, okay? You put in your JubiRev username. So what is it? Now, I asked someone today, what's their username? And they said their email address, because they're used to logging into their JubiMax, JubiMax back office with their email address. Your email address is not your username. So make sure you're using your username. And you will know what your username is if you don't remember. If you go back, I may have been timed out. If you go back under promoter links, whatever you have after this this little slash here is your username. So this is Jubi Training. This is our training site. If you are Joe Average, if you see Joe Average here, that's your username. So you want to put in your username. Okay? Give me a moment. All right, and then for security purposes, they do require that you either get a verification code by text or by phone. That is a security measure. There's also a security measure that we also use in JubiRev, JubiMax as well. So you go on and you get that registered, okay? Now, if you're saying, well, you know what, I don't need the monthly subscription right now. I can get the customers all on my own. I don't need to worry about the customers right now. That's fine. But I do want the ad placement service. Then you would just come over here to the ad placement service, and then you could go on and purchase that right there. I would imagine that many of you are going to at least do or at least consider one of the co-op positions where you've got some ad placement already priced in, or I won't say it's not priced in, where you're going to get at least a month or maybe 3 months or maybe 6 months or 12 months. And then for those of you that go on and opt to subscribe, when you log in or when you come back in, you do want to go under ad preferences. And that's not ready yet, but it should be ready well before this coming Friday. Remember, Friday is when the company is going to start checking to make sure that people have placed our ads. The company's given us some grace right now because they know that there's a learning curve that many of us have to go through in terms of having our ads placed. If you do not have to have the ad placement, ad posting service. You can choose to do that all on your own. Okay, it's not going to take you but a few minutes once you know how to do that. I personally like an ad placement, ad posting service because I like my ad to be placed in strategic locations where I have a better chance of customers seeing it. Plus, I like knowing that it's systematic and it's automatic, howbeit I will go back in on a daily basis as well and check just to make sure that it is there. So for those of you that do choose to subscribe, what you're going to need to do is come back into your Fly Guy system under ad placement. It may be another day or two before this is operational, and what you'll then be doing under the ad preferences, they'll have different ads that you could choose to have placed, and you'll choose which ad that you want to have placed, so on and so forth, and then they'll start placing that ad. I need to find out. I think your ad is going to be placed multiple times a day. It could be 2 or 3. Give me a moment. Let me see if someone from Fly Guy is on Skype. Give me a moment. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, all right, so what I'm going to do right now is I pretty much covered, I think, Fly Guy to where we understand it. The whole idea of Fly Guy is to get customer registrations, real customer registrations. Oh, something else that I need to do. Don't see that they're responding back to me yet. Something else I need to make sure we know how to do. Let's come back here real quickly in your back office. I may have been timed out, hopefully not. Come back in your back office. This is very important. Come back under where it says My Account, My Financials. You're going to spend a lot of time in your back office in the My Account, My Financials tab, okay? My Account, My Financials tab. Give me just a moment. My Account, My Financials. Okay, give me just a moment. Fly Guy's hitting me. Give me just a moment. Give me just a moment. Just Skyping the folks from Fly Guy there. Okay. Let's do this. My Financials, My Account, My Financials, My Account, My Financials. Bear with me. One of the things that you want to do is you want to make sure that as you go to My Account, My Financials, eCash. My Account, My Financials, eCash. My Account, My Financials, eCash. Jubi Buck Manager. Jubi Buck Manager. My Account, My Financials, eCash. Jubi Buck Manager. My Account, My Financials, eCash. Jubi Buck Manager. In the Jubi Buck Manager, you want to set the denomination of Jubi Bucks that you want to give away to every new registered customer. All right, and you can set as low as 5, as high as 400. Now, this is what I would tell you. If you have a small amount of Jubi Bucks, then you don't want to set this to 400. Now, you got 100, 200, 300, 1,000 Jubi Bucks. You don't want to set this to 400, particularly if you're going to use Fly Guy, because you could have quite a few customers coming in. Remember, what we have at Jubi Rev, Jubi Max, especially for those of you that were with me in another opportunity where I was a leading builder there, one of the things that we wanted them to do that they didn't quite get done, and hopefully they're working on it, with that other company, was the ability to have a customer and then be able to give that customer more inventory. We have that with Jubi Rev, Jubi Max, okay? We have that out of the gate. So even if I have, let's say I had 5,000 Jubi Bucks, I still may want to be conservative in setting this amount. I may not want to have 400 Jubi Bucks going to a customer once they register. I might only choose 50, or I might only choose 100 as an example. All right, so let's say I chose 100 and I update this. All right, now I'm going to go back. Earlier when I showed you the certification or the Jubi certificates giveaway, you saw that it was set to $5. I want to go back and refresh that screen. Give me just a moment. I just went back and refreshed that screen, and it is dynamic. And look at what happened. It went from a $5 giveaway to a $100 giveaway. Now, I want you to be conservative in the amount of Jubi Bucks you're going to give to any one customer coming aboard. The reason being is you can always go back and give that customer more Jubi Bucks. So the system will allow me to give up to 400 Jubi Bucks per new registered customer, all right? I can actually give away a total of $750 worth of product value. 400 of that can be Jubi bucks. The other 350 can be product value. What's product value? If I gave them a sample of the cardio product, if I gave them a sample of the skincare. Now, I've got to be honest with you. All of the sampling part, I don't know that all of that is ready just yet. And being away for a couple and a half weeks and getting bits and pieces here and there through Skype and so on and so forth, I'm not up to speed on all of that just yet. So I don't have all the answers. If you're asking about, well, how can I give away the full product line, so on and so forth, I don't have all the answers to that just yet. But what I want to make sure that you know how to do is to go in your back office, my account, my financials, my account, my financials, my account, my financials, eCash, then Jubi Buck Manager, to go back here and make any modifications you feel like that you need to make. I want you to notice something that happened. I'm going to set this back to 5. I'm going to update. And it's going to say that I can give away 1,688 certificates, meaning I can have 1,688 customers that register to get 5 Jubi bucks apiece. Okay? I'm going to also go back and I'm going to refresh this screen. You're going to see that this is dynamic. There's my $5 giveaway. That's pretty cool. That's some great programming. Okay? Now, what I would have you to do is I want you to set this conservatively. At the same time, I want you to have a balance of a nice denomination that you can give away that would attract someone to want to opt in. So if I've got 500 Jubi bucks, yeah, I might set this at 50. That allows me to get 10 customers, and that $50 amount is a good amount to give away. That says, hey, I'm giving away $50 worth of a certificate. Come on in here and register. Knowing that, you can always come back to your customers and give them more Jubi bucks up to the max of 400. How do I do that, T. Lamont? You come over here to where it says My Jubi Team, My Jubi Team, My Jubi Team. Then under My Jubi Team, you're going to have Customers, Customers, Customers. Okay, and so for instance here, there are some customers. Now, we've got a customer here. These are all test customers that I've already assigned 400 Jubi bucks to. I can't give that person any more Jubi bucks. Okay, we've got a test position here that I've assigned 20 Jubi bucks to. So what you can do is, if you're conservative, let's say in that example I did 50 Jubi bucks in the example, but now that I have this customer, I want to give them more Jubi bucks because I know that if I give them more Jubi bucks, I get more Jubi points. All I got to do is click here to where it says Assign, enter my PIN code, determine how many Jubi bucks I want to assign. By the way, I will tell you that right now, the minimum denomination for further assignment is 5 Jubi bucks. That is going to be reduced down to 1. That way, if you earn 1 Jubi buck as your reward during the daily leadership bonus, it may take another 3 to 4 days before you see this. Then, Queen, you'll be able to come back here and give that 1 Jubi buck away to generate that 1 Jubi point. And why is that so important? So that every single day, if you at least earn 1 Jubi buck as your reward, you can start to see your Jubi points starting to build. And that's so huge.
Very huge.
And some of you that have followed us for a while, you know why that's so big, and you know why I'm making a big deal out of that.
Oh, I know why.
Okay, so now you can come back. So let's just walk you through this process, and then I know we got to get ready for the other webinar. I don't know if we'll be able to do a lot of Q&A, unfortunately, tonight. So let's just walk you through this process. All right, so what we did, what do we do here? We came under My Jubi Team. under customers, my Jubi team under customers, okay? Notice, Queen, I've got a bunch of Jubi bucks to give away, right? I got a bunch of Jubi bucks to give away. I notice, wait a minute, I've got some customers back here. This person only has 20 Jubi bucks. I tell you what, I want to give them some more. Put in my PIN code. Let's give them 100. Let's click submit. I want to see something real quickly. I don't know if this is real time yet. Queen, could you make a note of these numbers? 84.43.80 is my Jubi buck total. I'll do it here. 84.40.80. And did you see my my Jubi points here?
Jubi points is 598.75.
This may not be this right here.
It's real time now.
It is. Is it? Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, I just saw mine change, so it's real time.
Okay. Thank you. What was that number? Did you see what that number was?
Which one?
For the Jubi points?
598.75.
598.75. 598.75. All right, we click submit. Put in the wrong PIN number. This is not my, this is the training account. I hope I did that right. Hope I did that right. There we go. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to refresh. What was it? What did you say it was? It was 598.75. Okay. Let's refresh. We're going to pay attention to the Jubi buck column and the Jubi point column. See what happens there.
Oh, something else happened in there too, did you, Lamont? Oh, the bonus.
Gotcha. Okay, so look at what just happened here. What just happened here is originally I had 8,443.8 Jubi bucks. So what the system did is it subtracted 100 Jubi bucks from my Jubi buck column. So now we've got 8,343.80. Is that a good thing? Yeah. I want to have debit from my Jubi buck column, because when that happens, I then increase my Jubi point column. I was at 598.75 previously. And now this takes me to 713.75. Let's do the math here. 713.75 minus 598.75. Okay, T. Lamont, I just got an additional 115 points. Why did I get 115 points when I only gave away 100 Jubi bucks? Why didn't I get 100 Jubi points versus the 115? Remember, we had a founder's promotion.
That's right.
With the founder's promotion, anyone that participated in the founder's promotion, when you made a purchase during that promotion, you get a 15% Jubi point match once you give away those Jubi bucks. So we just gave away 100 Jubi bucks, and our point total went from an additional 100 Jubi points to an additional 115 because of that 15% kicker, that 15% increase. So let me start the round third, because I know we got to get ready for the corporate income opportunity webinar. So that any Jubi bucks that you purchased during the founders period, those of you who are part of founders, okay, if you still have bucks that have not been given away from that founders period, as you give those bucks away, you're going to get an additional 15% match in Jubi points. Just like I did 100 Jubi bucks there, I got 115 Jubi points in the system. Now, the founders period is over. However, we've got a first wave. What our president, what our owner, J. Joshua Beisel, what he wanted to do is he knew that there were a lot of folks that were, you know, kind of in a wait-and-see mode, that maybe did not participate as fully as they would normally have with the founders promotion, because it took faith to do the founders promotion. And some people, for whatever reason, or maybe they didn't have the resources, but now they see the site is live, they see that we're here, or they see we're not going anywhere. Products are being shipped out. They're getting the products. When I got back from Chile, I opened up that box. I was very, very impressed with the products. And so now he said, well, we're going to do a 10% Jubi point match. So this is what I would strongly consider. This runs from March 28th through April 22nd. So this is retroactive if you were not a part of Founders, or you did Founders, but that date has come and gone. Any purchase from March 28th to April 22nd, you're going to get an additional 10% Jubi point match. What would I have you doing? All right, I would have you, within reason, within your budgetary confines, I would have you purchasing as much as your resources allow. Don't go out and get yourself in trouble. Don't charge things to a hilt or anything like that. But one of the things I would look at, ladies and gentlemen, if I have other income streams, particularly if they're internet-based, because a lot of your internet-based income streams pay you through Payza or pay you through Solid Trust Pay, I would start to take some profits from any of those other income streams. And if they're paying through those sources, then that's a very quick, immediate way to load more funds into your back office, make more JubiBuck purchases, and get the impact of that 10% Jubi point match. Your daily rewards. I want you to get this, guys. I know we got to go. Let's go back here. Let's go back here to my home page here. All right. Let's come back here to our home page. And let's say this were you, and you said, okay, let me go on and get registered with Fly Guy. Let me do it very quickly because I want to give away as many of these JubiBucks as I possibly can to generate more Jubi points. Maybe you did that during the Founders promotion, and you're already going to get some advantage by doing that. But here's the deal. Last night, the company paid 0.0136 rewards per point. This site has roughly 600 Jubi points it earned on last night. There's a lot of earning potential if we convert those bucks to points. Yes. So Queen, if we took the 83, 43, 80, and those all converted to Jubi points, all right, to go with the now 713.75. Okay, now that's 9,057 points that get converted, and let's say we had a night where we had a reward per point of 0.013. The first night was 0.0134. And you made 121 in your reward, but you opted not to receive any of that as commissions. That all went to more Jubi bucks. Queen, guess what just happened? Not only did you get 121 in this example Jubi bucks, but because this happened between now and April 22nd, you're going to get another 10% match once you give those Jubi bucks away.
Right.
So I want us to have a sense of urgency of converting bucks to points, because the more points we have, the more our daily rewards could be, and the more of those daily rewards that go to your Jubi buck totals, then the more you get an additional 10% between now and the 22nd. Lastly, and this has got to be it, ladies and gentlemen, so I won't have a chance to get to your questions. I do apologize. We got to get ready for the next webinar for the company. Also, as a part of the first wave bonus, all right, anyone that you have, if you've begun to build a referral network based on what your commissioning rate happens to be, let's say if you are Emerald, let's say if you're a Diamond, all right, you get a 10% commission rate when you enroll someone and they purchase Jubi bucks. You get a 5% commission when someone from your second generation, you refer Dave, Dave refers Ryan, you get 5% as Ryan makes his purchase, and then 1% on your third generation. You refer Dave, Dave refers Ryan, Ryan refers Aaron. Okay, now let me tell you why this is so important, because you would normally get that in commissioning anyway. And we are hearing phenomenal stories already of people earning $200, $300, $400, $500 or more a day just in commissions. already in just the last couple days of the daily revenue. But you also are going to get this in a match in Jubi points. So if you have someone that through the process of them loading new funds, making new purchases, or them taking their daily rewards, and that being JubiBucks, going to the JubiBuck column, you're going to get an additional 10% match. So if you referred someone and they made a $100 JubiBuck purchase by virtue of loading new funds, or by virtue of their getting their daily reward and it going to JubiBucks, guess what? You get an extra 10% match in Jubi points. You earn another 10 Jubi points. Well, Queen, between now and the 22nd, those of us that have already begun to build a referral network or are now really ready to get engaged in building a referral network, you could generate hundreds, thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of additional Jubi points with this first wave. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me leave you with this. I'm sorry we won't get a chance to get to all your questions. This coming Thursday, yes.
Just one quick one, because I've seen some people are trying to sign into Fly Guy Marketing, and I was trying to do the same thing, but it wasn't working like yours was. Is that because it's not ready yet, or?
No, that shouldn't be the case.
Okay, because I re-signed up and it still gave me that same thing, so that's just a question.
What did they say?
It says won't be ready until. Go ahead.
What you got, buddy?
This is Dave. I signed up on it today, and I know that she only had it accessible to a couple people to test it. I'm not sure if she's turned it on live yet.
Oh, hold on.
That's because I saw somebody who was able to sign up and get theirs, but I also saw a lot more that weren't. Just a question.
Okay, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we got to jump off to the other webinar. I am communicating with the Fly Guy folks. So if you have registered and you've not been able to get into the system, I'll be communicating with Fly Guy. Make sure, real quickly, that you're part of our email listing. The quickest way to do that right now is to simply send an email to JubiRev team@aweber.com. That will put you into our system. Next time we have our team webinar, we'll talk about our training site that is being developed as we speak. We will be back here on Thursday at the same link at 7 p.m. Eastern. What I think I want to do on Thursday is devote as much of that time as a Q&A as we possibly can, because we haven't had a chance to really get to your Q&As the last couple of webinars that we've done with our JubiRev team. We're getting ready to go to the income opportunity presentation at JubiRev webinar.com at 9 p.m. We'll be hosting that. And then tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll have a webinar that is a generic compensation model overview of how the daily leadership bonus works. But again, it's going to be generic. We won't be specifically saying JubiRev. It's a great place to bring guests so that we can talk about some stories, some income stories that we can't normally do on an income opportunity webinar for JubiRev. So every day can be payday. Webinar.com is where you can go and register for that. All right, and that's going to be on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Okay? All right, so just make a quick note of that. JubiRev team at aweber.com if you're not already in our team email list. We'll be back here on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern at the same webinar link that you have here tonight. We're getting ready to jump over to the JubiRev webinar.com, which is for income opportunity. And then tomorrow, 9:30, I know I'm loading you down with a lot of information. Tomorrow at 9:30, every day can be payday webinar, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. With that being said, I have people. With that being said, I just heard back from Fly Guy. People are getting through. Some people aren't. So if you are not getting through for whatever reason, the best thing to do is to hit me on Skype. If you're not getting through, my Skype is GIF JubiRev-PM. Hit me on Skype and say, hey, I'm trying to sign up for Fly Guy. I registered, but for whatever reason, it won't let me in the system. That way I can give them specific names. Again, maybe it's a little bug, but that should get squashed real soon. We love each and every one of you.
I'm trying a different browser.
Try a different browser. Yeah, try a different browser.
Oh, it still did the same thing with me.
It did? Okay.
It still did the same thing.
All right, so hit me on Skype. Hit me on Skype, JIF-PM, JIF-PM. Let me know that you're trying to get into Fly Guy and it's not letting you get in, so on and so forth, so I can share your name with the Fly Guy folks. Love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours. We'll see you on the next webinar. Remember, it's not just a company, it's a movement. Good night, everyone.
All right. Good night, everyone.
So that's it for now. If you have any questions, please get back to the person that shared this video with you, or you can send a support ticket from your JubiRev back office. Thank you. We look forward to hearing of your success.